Artur Beterbiev vs Dmitry Bivol, a masterclass in strategy. In their first meeting, Beterbiev and Bivol, both undefeated champions, delivered one of the most anticipated showdowns in modern boxing. While it didn't end in a knockout, the fight was so technically advanced that many fans may have missed just how incredible it truly was. But when you break it down, you'll find layers of high-level strategy and subtle mind games unfolding throughout the match. This wasn't just a fight, it was a battle of elite minds at the top of their game. In this video, we'll dive deep into the tactics and exchanges that defined this extraordinary bout, revealing the brilliance behind every move. By the end, you'll walk away with a whole new appreciation for both Beterbiev and Bivol, and you'll be even more hyped for a potential trilogy. And as always, stay tuned till the end for a little bonus from our channel manager, Maru. Let's get into it. Beterbiev's strategy in this fight was surprisingly simple. He applied steady pressure by moving forward, all while carefully observing his opponent. When the opportunity came, without taking unnecessary risks, he would time his shots and land clean punches with minimal openings. Heading into this fight, Beterbiev was a perfect 20-0 with 20 knockouts. But there's a reason why he's able to keep scoring KOs with this style. His punches are incredibly powerful, so much so that he doesn't need to swing big to hurt his opponents. Even short, compact shots carry devastating force thanks to his exceptional physical strength. And let's not forget, he's not just a puncher. Beterbiev also had a deep amateur pedigree, including a world championship title, giving him not only raw power, but refined technical skills as well. Facing a man often described as like fighting a bear, Dmitry Bivol came into the ring with a game plan built on 4 key strategies. The first, controlling distance and angles through footwork. Bivol constantly stayed in motion, never giving Beterbiev a stationary target. Every time Beterbiev stepped in, Bivol took a step back, just enough to stay out of range and prevent him from closing the distance. But simply backing up in a straight line would have put him on the ropes. So Bivol, with movement uncharacteristic for a light heavyweight, angled off to the sides with smooth lateral footwork. Even when attacking, he continued to move laterally, refusing to stay in front of Beterbiev for even a second longer than necessary. The second key strategy was defense, closely tied to Bivol's footwork. When absorbing Beterbiev's heavy shots, Bivol would guard while jumping slightly backward, using movement to defuse the impact. Even though he moved up from a lower weight class, you can see the danger of Beterbiev's power when you realize that Bivol had no problem standing his ground against full-swing shots from Canelo. What made this possible was Bivol's exceptional balance. Even when starting his movements from a less-than-ideal position, he always landed with perfect posture, ready to continue the fight. The third key strategy was winning the battle of the jab. Bivol used every tool he had to prevent Beterbiev from easily launching his jab, which is the foundation of his offense. Interestingly, in terms of pure reach, Beterbiev actually had the advantage over Bivol. On paper, you'd expect Beterbiev to dominate the jab exchanges. And as we discussed earlier, Beterbiev's jab is sharp and compact, designed to minimize openings while still delivering his devastating power. To counter this, Bivol threw his jab by fully extending his arm, with his shoulder rolled in to maximize reach. This adjustment allowed him to create a longer effective range than Beterbiev. As a result, even in simultaneous exchanges, Bivol would often land cleanly while avoiding Beterbiev's counters, winning the jab battles and controlling the rhythm of the fight. The most effective tactic in dealing with Beterbiev's jab was the jab counter. The moment Beterbiev threw his jab, Bivol would immediately fire back with his own. This disrupted Beterbiev's forward momentum, cutting off his attacks before they could build. But Bivol didn't stop there. Even before Beterbiev committed to a jab, Bivol constantly moved his head with ducking motions, making it harder for Beterbiev to lock onto a target. From these subtle ducks, Bivol would also fire counters, planting the idea in Beterbiev's mind that throwing meant getting hit. By forcing Beterbiev to second-guess his offense, Bivol successfully slowed his output and extended the periods where he could control the pace of the fight. The fourth key strategy, which we touched on earlier, was attacking when the opponent is least able to evade. Bivol would time his attacks to when Beterbiev shifted his weight onto his front foot, the moment he was most vulnerable to being hit. This wasn't a tactic exclusive to the Beterbiev fight. It's a signature part of Bivol's style, something we also saw during his fight against Canelo. Interestingly, there are two other elite fighters known for exploiting this same principle. One is the undefeated legend Floyd Mayweather. And the other is Naoya Inoue, often called the Monster and regarded as one of Japan's greatest boxing champions. Using this timing-based strategy, Bivol gradually took control of the pace right from the first round, skillfully neutralizing Beterbiev's pressure throughout the fight. Even when Bivol took a clean right hand from Beterbiev, he showed his toughness by immediately staying active and ready to move. After that, Bivol continued to land counters while stepping backward. A testament to his exceptional balance, and one of his biggest strengths. However, Beterbiev, as expected, made quick adjustments. He started baiting Bivol's jab counters, setting traps to land his own right hand over the top. In the second round, Beterbiev, who had been cautious in the opening, began pressing forward with greater intensity. However, Bivol timed his punches against Beterbiev's advances, pushing him back and refusing to let him break through. This round also featured a moment that highlighted Beterbiev's incredible physical toughness. Specifically, during a body jab exchange. Normally, when fighters take or even react to a body jab, they instinctively bend forward into a hunched posture, as we often see with fighters like Stephen Fulton. But astonishingly, not only did Beterbiev show no signs of damage. It was Bivol, the one who threw the punch, who was bounced back on impact. Yet, Bivol continued to control the pace. Even during exchanges, he skillfully landed his own punches while deflecting Beterbiev's shots. He didn't just retreat, he also willingly engaged in thrilling trades. And even there, he outperformed Beterbiev with superior volume and accuracy. Bivol also showcased a wide variety of attacks, scattering his shots to the head, body, and sides, overwhelming Beterbiev's defensive reactions and landing cleanly. Beterbiev, who had been holding a firm stance, began to move his head starting from round 5, making it harder for Bivol to target him with his jab. Up to that point, Beterbiev had prioritized minimizing openings when throwing his jab. But now he began mixing in jabs thrown with full weight behind them, adding variation to his rhythm. With Bivol spending more time defending, Beterbiev started wearing him down with brutal-sounding body shots. Although the shot landed on Bivol's left side, away from the liver, based on my experience, when a punch has enough power, it shakes all the internal organs and the pain radiates even to the opposite side. You can see this from the fact that even Bivol, who had kept a tight guard until then, reflexively dropped his hands to protect his body after taking the shot. However, Bivol's spirit did not break, even after taking another devastating body shot in round 6, though his guard lowered, he kept moving without stopping. Far from being intimidated, he fired back powerful punches of his own, pushing Beterbiev backward. And in round 7, Bivol even staggered the mighty Beterbiev with a sharp left hook. However, as Bivol pressed the attack with momentum, he ended up trading right hands with Beterbiev, and then took a left hook that forced him to retreat, creating a tense and razor-thin exchange. This was a display of incredibly high-level exchanges, with movements you wouldn't expect from light heavyweights. As the fight entered the final rounds, it turned into an all-out war, with both fighters pouring everything they had into the ring. When Bivol gained momentum through counters and combinations, Beterbiev responded by increasing his pressure, hammering down on Bivol's high guard with heavy shots as Bivol's footwork slowed from fatigue. But overcommitting was dangerous. Bivol's counters could fly back at any moment, keeping the tension razor-sharp until the final bell. Despite his larger frame and inevitable higher energy consumption, Bivol kept moving relentlessly, a testament to the intense training he must have undergone. At the final bell, Beterbiev's left hook and Bivol's right uppercut clashed, showcasing the unwavering spirit of both fighters until the very last moment. The judges' scores were 114 to 114, 115 to 113, and 116 to 112. Giving Beterbiev a narrow 2-0 decision victory in this summit showdown. Personally, I felt Bivol might have edged it by 2 or 3 points. What did you think? Please share your thoughts in the comments. Even in defeat, Bivol's ability to maintain an incredible work rate over 12 rounds, while under constant pressure from Beterbiev, was nothing short of amazing. The only man never dropped by Beterbiev so far. It's thrilling to imagine what adjustments Bivol might bring into the rematch. How did you find the fight? There were no knockdowns, so it might not stand out in highlight reels. But the battle itself was absolutely fierce and full of high-level exchanges. Watching Bivol, it's clear that his strength is the result of relentless effort. A true example for any fighter striving for greatness. And Beterbiev, even at 40 years old, clearly continues to push himself through brutal training to maintain his dominance. We can't take our eyes off the story these two warriors are still writing. Please leave your predictions for the rematch in the comments. Finally, stay tuned for a special extra from our manager, Meru. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.
皆様、本日もご視聴いただきありがとうございます。マネージャーのメルです。今回の動画はいかがでしたか？私も投稿主さんも皆様のコメントからとても元気をもらっております。これからもコメントお待ちしております。またねー。